everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome everybody, this is Shane.
Today we have a lesson called Heels
on Wheels.
That's right, and the vocabulary words are mobile.
Mobile.
A food truck is really just a mobile kitchen.
Partially.
Partially.
What Logan said is only partially true.
Equipment.
Equipment.
Camping is fun, but it requires a lot of equipment.
Recover.
Recover.
Ben is out of the hospital and recovering at home.
Estimate.
Estimate.
My dad estimates that we need 4 cans of tomatoes to make enough sauce for everyone.
Heels on wheels.
Yeah.
So this is to heal, right? To make somebody healthy again or to get well.
Recover.
On wheels means that it's kind of a mobile thing, right?
Like a vehicle,
A
maybe.
vehicle, exactly. So what is this vehicle doing?
It's actually a mobile hospital for animals.
Right, so this is in Australia.
That's right.
And I think this is really a response to the wildfires that happened in 2020 in Australia.
And that lasted for many, many, many months.
Yeah, because and also affected the lives of people, but also of billions of animals.
I know.
Being injured, losing their habitat, all kinds of things. So there's a lot of injured animals, but maybe not the resources to help them.
So I think this is definitely a great idea because this mobile hospital, it's fully equipped with everything you need.
X-ray machines, ultrasound machines, cages. Basically, they can go anywhere and have all the equipment necessary to help an animal.
Yes.
And it's self-sufficient. Right?
I think it runs on solar energy, right?
Exactly.
It has water, electricity, it has everything that you need. So you can help save the animals and time because time is very precious.
Exactly.
When it comes to saving people's lives or animals' lives.
That's right. Okay, let's learn more about Heels on Wheels.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Heels on Wheels. The world's largest mobile clinic for treating hurt and traumatized animals has just been revealed in Australia. After almost 2 years in development, the state-of-the-art Byron Bay Wildlife Hospital is ready to roll out and bring aid to suffering animals across the country.
Today's lesson is called Heels on Wheels. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. Now, I've heard of the charity called Meals on Wheels. This is a charity that goes, I think, around the world, that goes around delivering food and meals, not like Food Panda. They do it for free, and they do it for people who are stuck at home. Old people, mainly, who can't get out, live alone. They deliver food to them every day and, check that they're okay. But that's meals, as in food, a meal like breakfast, lunch, dinner, on wheels. Here it's heals, like how a doctor will heal you or medicine will heal you. So is this like a rolling doctor? A doctor in a truck?
It's a mobile clinic, yes.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah, there you go. The world's largest mobile clinic for treating hurt and traumatized animals has just been revealed in Australia. Anyways, here, this is a mobile clinic, okay? It can go from one place to another.
It's on wheels.
Animals out there in the wild, they're not going to come in and see the vet. Oh, I've broken my paw, I'm going to go see the vet. They're going to stay out in the wild and become prey to a predator. So here, this particular mobile clinic is going to go where the action is. They're going to go find those hurt animals somehow. They're going to go to the animal. They can move that clinic from place to place because it's a mobile clinic. For example, a food truck is really just a mobile kitchen. By the way, this word mobile, it's an adjective. And by the way, this is going on in Australia.
Okay, well, it's a big, empty country with a lot of animals, so that makes sense. And as we read, there's a good reason for it to be, very busy these days. It says, after almost 2 years in development, the state-of-the-art Byron Bay Wildlife Hospital is ready to roll out and bring aid to suffering animals across the country. Wow, that's pretty cool. So this isn't just like some old truck that someone shoved a bunch of bandages into and said, all right, we'll just go out and stick bandages on the koalas. No, it took 2 years of development, design, and building this thing. It's state-of-the-art. So if you went into this mobile clinic inside a truck or a bus or whatever machine they're using, you would find all the latest equipment. They would have all those, ultrasounds and x-ray machines and all sorts of cool stuff in there. And so after 2 years of work, this high-tech or state-of-the-art hospital is ready to roll out and bring aid or help to suffering animals across the country. It's going to be rolling around giving CAT scans to koalas from Perth to Brisbane to Alice Springs.
Now, how does all this work? What are the details? We'll learn all about that right after a short break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Heels on Wheels。好，它其实是取自于 Meals on Wheels 上门送餐服务。那这是为了那一些不方便自己去买餐点或是准备餐点的老年人啊、病人等等，就是帮他们送饭上门的服务。而我们的标题就是把这个 meals 改成 heals， 这个动词 heal 就有治愈。那么 wheels 用复数形可以表达有轮子的交通工具或者指汽车，所以 heels on wheels 就是要点出在车上治疗、治愈动物的意思，这个主题。好，那么因为今天的课文呢，就是要介绍澳洲的这个拜伦湾野生动物医院，它是全世界最大的移动式动物医院，用来治疗受伤和心理创伤的动物。好，我们来看单字 mobile。Mobile 它是形容移动式的或是行动自如的，也有人会把它念作 mobile。那刚刚 Jeff 老师说，动物们不会自己到诊所去看诊，对不对？当他们受伤的时候，可能就只能待在野生环境里面，然后成为掠食者的猎物了。这时候老师用到 predator 这个字 ，Predator。Predator 表示掠食者，那么 prey prey 就表示猎物被捕的那一些人被捕食的对象不是人。好，话说回来呢，这个移动式动物医院可不是随便一台卡车就是乱塞一些医疗器材就让它上路哦。课文写到说，在经过近2年的研发之后，使用最先进技术的这个拜伦湾野生动物医院准备推出，并且要来援助该国各地正在承受着痛苦的动物。好，我们先补充一下 Mike 老师刚刚用到 shove shove 就可以表达乱塞啊，或者是有推挤推撞的意思。那这边还有2个重点，第一个是片语 state of the art，它是指说某项科技的目前进步水准，我们加上连字号就可以把它变成形容词。State of the art 是用来形容是使用最先进技术的、先进的，那可以用来描述品质啊、材质啊或是技术等等。举例来说， The gym is filled with state-of-the-art equipment。那间健身房充满了最先进的设备器材。第二个重点是 roll out， 在这边表达推出，像是推出新产品啊、服务等等，那这是口语用法。举例来说， The automaker plans to roll out a new electric car next year。 那间汽车制造商计划明年要推出新款电动车。接话课文中。
Heels on Wheels. It is housed in a custom-built 16-meter semi-trailer truck that was partially funded by the World Wildlife Fund. Inside, the truck comes with everything an animal hospital needs, including x-ray machines, ultrasound equipment, and special cages to keep the animals safe while they recover. To make sure that the clinic can help even in the most difficult conditions, it is 100% self-sufficient. It uses solar panels to produce electricity and has its own water collection and management systems so that it can arrive anywhere and be set up and ready to go in minutes.
Okay, today's lesson is called Heels on Wheels. We're talking about a mobile clinic for animals.
It's state-of-the-art mobile clinic.
It's state-of-the-art, and it's in Australia, so you know it's got to be pretty
cool.
Anyways, let's talk about this clinic. It's housed in a custom-built 16-meter semi-trailer truck that was partially funded by the World Wildlife Fund.
Wow, the WWF, that animal charity, they gave some money to it, but only some of the money. We know that because it was funded. That's meaning giving money to something, but partially funded. The adverb partially means some of it, not all of it, some of it, a percentage of it. So the World Wildlife Fund maybe gave 40% of the money, but the other 60% came from charities and came from, rich people or whoever just gave, maybe from the Australian government. They gave some of it, but some of the money, or partially funded, came from the WWF. So there you go. It's a 16-meter long semi-trailer truck. So like one of those big trucks that carries goods around the country. They converted it into a rolling hospital. Very, very cool. All right, let's read on and find out more. After the example sentence for partially, what Logan said is only partially true. It's only a little bit true, not 100% true. There was some not so true stuff. In other words, some lies there in what Logan said. All right, let's check out what's inside this state-of-the-art mobile hospital. Inside, the truck comes with everything an animal hospital needs, including x-ray machines, ultrasound equipment, and special cages to keep the animals safe while they recover. Yeah, if you're treating koalas or maybe even kangaroos, you would certainly need special cages to keep these wild animals. Remember, these are wild animals, not dogs and cats and pets. You would need stuff to keep them safe while they recover, but they also have all the equipment they need.
Yeah, equipment. This is a great word, okay? When you're talking about equipment, you're talking about all the stuff you need to do something. Note, this particular word is non-count. You can have a lot of stuff, okay? Or you can need a lot of stuff to do something, but you wouldn't say, yeah, I've got a lot of equipments.
No.
You wouldn't say that. The same thing goes for the word gear. When you're talking about the stuff you need to do something, you can use the word equipment or gear. For example, camping is a lot of fun, but it requires a lot of equipment.
Equipment, gear, stuff, all of these words. We don't put an S on any of them because they're talking about a group of things. So you don't need the S, but you say a piece of equipment.
A piece of.
That would be one thing in all your equipment. Anyways, so all of this equipment will help the animals to recover. And when we're talking about hospitals, doctors, medicine, healthcare in any kind of way, we often would use this verb to recover. It's to get better, to heal. It might take you 6 to 8 weeks to recover from a broken bone. It might take a few days to recover from a cut or a cold. You can recover at home. You can recover with some hot tea if you have a cold, or medicine if you have something more serious. But we're just talking about healing, getting better, getting back to 100% fitness. For example, Ben is out of the hospital and recovering at home. That's good. I think it's better. You recover more quickly at home, right? Because you're comfortable and safe.
Anyways, to make sure that the clinic, the mobile clinic, can help even in the most difficult conditions, it is 100% self-sufficient.
Wow.
Okay? It can work on its own. It doesn't need any help from anybody else or any outside help at all. Nobody else is needed on the outside. Nothing else from the outside is needed. It is 100% self-sufficient. It uses solar panels, I should say, to produce electricity, and has its own water collection and management systems so that it can arrive anywhere and be set up and ready to go in minutes.
So they don't have to plug it into the power cables or connect it up to the water supply. It rolls in on its own in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest or the desert there in Australia, and it's ready to work. I can see why they call it high-tech, and also why it took 2 years to plan. You could put this on the moon and it would probably work well. Maybe not quite, and not many animals on the moon. But you know what? But you get the idea.
You get the idea. Yeah. They don't really have to ask for help from anyone.
There you go.
Anyways, it is now time for us to take a break. Let's do so. We'll see you after this.
拜伦湾野生动物医院呢，是从连接车改造而来。那它是一台定做的16公尺长的连接车。这台车有部分呢是由世界自然基金会来资助。那么车子内部它有配备 X 光机啊、超音波设备等等，然后还有特殊的笼子，让动物在复原期间呢能够保持安全。我们先来看3个单字 ，partially 这个副词表示部分地。那么 equipment 它是指装备设备，它是不可数名词哦。那有一个意思相近的字 gear 它当不可数名词也可以用来表达装备设备的意思。下一个单字 recover 表示恢复复原。另外刚刚说到改造连结车 Mike 老师用到 convert 这个动词 convert convert 可以用来表达转换转变的意思。好，课文接着写到那一台连接车呢是100%的自给自足，它用太阳能板来发电，而且有自己的水收集和管理系统，到任何地方它可以在几分钟之内就设置起来，然后准备好行动。好，我们补充一下，文中用到 self-sufficient， 它是由 self 自己的，还有 sufficient 充足的合在一起作为一个复合形容词来表达说是自给自足的 self-sufficient。好，接回到课文中。
Heels on wheels. Australia can be a dangerous place to live, even for wild animals. Experts estimate that up to 1 billion wild animals were affected by the 2020 wildfires alone. Getting help to these animals in times of crisis is a major challenge, and this marvelous mobile hospital seems to have arrived in the nick of time.
Everyone, this much is for certain. Australia can be a dangerous place to live, even for wild animals.
Okay, yeah, it can be. I mean, it's most of it's kind of desert, right? I mean, it is kind of a wild country apart from those wonderful cities they have. Experts estimate that up to 1 billion wild animals were affected by the 2020 wildfires alone. Do you remember this, guys? They had fires that stretched from like Sydney down south, up north. It was terrible. And all of these animals were badly... I remember the film they had of a burned koala bear kind of crawling along the road, and this lady went over and they saved it. She went, but it was terrible. That was just one in this wild country full of, kangaroos, koalas, wombats, all sorts of stuff. 1 billion animals were affected by those wildfires, and that's just last year. This is an estimate, of course. They can't know exactly.
It's impossible to know for sure. By the way, when close is good enough, or when it's impossible to know an exact figure or number, you have to estimate. So here, nobody will ever know for sure how many animals actually were affected by these wildfires. It was a lot, though. It was up to 1 billion. So here you estimate. Here we're using the word as a verb when you estimate. Now, when you give an estimate to someone, that's using that word as a noun. You're giving someone a rough number, okay? It's not the exact number. It's a rough number. For example, my dad estimates that we need 4 cans of tomatoes to make enough sauce for everyone. So let's see, we've got this many people. Let's get 4 cans just to be on the safe side. Maybe 3 would be enough, but 4, yeah, that'll be a better estimate in this particular situation. Anyways, this mobile clinic, it's great, okay? Sometimes those animals, remember, they can't come to you.
Absolutely. These wild animals will just stay out there hurt unless the mobile hospital can help them. So getting help to these animals in times of crisis is a major challenge, a very difficult thing to do. And this marvelous mobile hospital seems to have arrived in the nick of time. So yeah, getting help to the animals when they need help is difficult, and this mobile hospital seems to have arrived right when it was needed, especially after those big wildfires from last year. And unfortunately, with global warming, there probably will be more in the near future. We hope not, but that seems to be the way things are going. So here in our What Do You Think question, we have a good question. Is there a need for a mobile animal hospital where you live? Why or why not?
Actually, where I live here in Taiwan, it's quite mountainous, so I don't think it's needed here because it just wouldn't be practical. Getting a big semi-trailer truck up the side of mountain roads just wouldn't work. So maybe if it were a smaller vehicle that could kind of get up the mountains, maybe that would work. But in the current form that we're talking about, it would be impractical. This mobile animal hospital, the way that we've been talking about it, it wouldn't work where I live here in Taiwan.
Okay, and many of the animals it would treat, like, you know, wild dogs or snakes or monkeys, they're smaller animals anyways, so you might not need such a big machine like that. But, of course, in other places, especially big wild places like in Australia, it's definitely a good idea. So good on those folks. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We will see you back here very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
同学们对于去年前年的澳洲森林大火应该都很印象深刻吧？那专家估计，光是2020年的野火就有高达10亿只的野生动物受到影响。好，那这边有一个单字是 estimate， 它表示估计、预估、估算或是评估。那这个字也可以当名词念作 estimate， 所以要特别注意念法哦。动词念作 estimate， 名词是 estimate。好，那么单字例句写到说，爸爸估计我们需要4罐番茄才能做出每个人够用的酱料。那也许是3罐就够了，可是为了保险起见，他准备了4罐会比较好。Charles 老师这时候用到 just to be on the safe side， 意思就是说为了安全起见，为了谨慎起见，以防万一的意思。好，那补充一下哦，刚刚谈到森林大火 ，Mike 老师有提到几种动物，像是 koala。无尾熊 kangaroo 袋鼠，还有提到一个是 wombat 是指袋熊。好，那么课文最后写到说，在危机时刻呢，将援助带给这些动物是一大挑战，而这个了不起的行动医院似乎来得正是时候。好，这边有3个重点，第一个是 in times of， 它表示在什么什么的时候，那么之后常常会接抽象名词，可能像是 crisis 危机，need 需要， trouble 困难等等。举例来说 ，in times of hardship, it's easy to feel helpless。在艰困难的时刻呢，很容易感到无助。好，第二重点 ，seem to have 加上过去分词 PP， 表示说似乎已经怎么样，它是用来指说这个动作或是事情已经完成。举例来说。They seem to have settled their differences. 他们似乎已经化解了彼此之间的分歧了。第3个重点 ，in the nick of time， 它表示说在紧要关头、千钧一发之际，常常用来指说在关键的那最后一刻。例如 ，The police arrived in the nick of time. 警方在最后紧要关头的时候抵达现场了。好，以上是这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
These animals are called wombats. They are native to Australia. Full-grown wombats are about 1 meter long and weigh between 25 and 30 kilograms. They are very cute and cuddly little marsupials. Marsupials are a kind of mammal like kangaroos or koalas. Wombats can be found in southeastern Australia and on the island of Tasmania. They live underground in burrows that they dig themselves. There are 3 species of wombats living in Australia. Even though they are small, wombats are tough. If they are threatened by an animal or person in the wild, they will bite, scratch, or even knock a person over. Don't worry, the ones here at the zoo are friendly because they are used to contact with humans. You can even hold them and pet them. They're pretty cute, so many people like to visit the wombat petting areas at Australian zoos.
Here is more information.
Digest. I can't go swimming yet. I'm still digesting my lunch. Cartilage. The outside of the ear is made of cartilage. Backwards. Kevin walked backwards toward the door. Stubby. Vicky's fingers are too stubby to play the piano. Incisor. We use incisors to cut our food. Dig. They are digging a tunnel. Prey. Owls hunt their prey at night. Predator. Lions are strong predators. Vermin. Flies and cockroaches are described as vermin. Burrow. There is a rabbit in the burrow. I hope you learned a lot today, and we look forward to teaching you again next time.
See you next time.